World, Seppo here from Caveman Bets with a betting preview on the Navy-Army game. Yes, I said Navy-Army instead of Army-Navy because I have Navy here plus 7.5 as a really good bet. At first, I was looking at this total combined under, but after digging a little bit deeper, looking at our matchups, our strength of schedule, I think Army is a bit of a mirage this year. They have really a cupcake schedule. 2 wins against teams that are 1-11, a few wins against other teams who didn't really perform very well. 1 close loss against Wisconsin at Wisconsin, which is really the only worry in this plus 7.5, that Army can play up to the athletes that Navy has on defense and a few on offense. The Army offense and team in general look to have a little bit more talent than Navy. So I don't doubt that Army's the favorite to be winning this game in the end, but this matchup is usually close. It usually even doesn't matter the difference in talent between the teams, unless one's vastly different. One's in the top 25, the other's having quite a poor season. Same thing with Air Force Academy when these Commander-in-Chief trophies occur. Air Force, all right this year. Army did beat them, which is another kind of tip that Army is not a terrible team. They haven't been bad by any stretch at 8-3, but they're more around a 500 team, and that's Navy as well. Navy played in a much more difficult conference. Navy has played a few games against better teams, including Cincinnati, who's a top 4 team at the moment, and played them close. Notre Dame, that was not a close game, sadly, for Navy. Army, who played Wisconsin close. Wisconsin also got dominated by Notre Dame. So I think Notre Dame was just, that class above. Cincinnati with that Navy game. Cincinnati, was in front a good amount. They didn't really, Navy put a scare into anybody. But 7-point game. And with a total of only 34.5, both these teams being running teams, there's not going to be enough possessions in the game, I don't think, for Army to show that it's the better team, to really go out to that 14-point lead and to get quite a bit in front. I think this is going to be back and forth. Army pulls out by the end, or, Army stays a little bit ahead. Navy just can't catch up all the way. Now, the reason why I'm staying away from this total, which is under 34.5, is the Army offense has looked pretty good. Navy has a good defense, but can get shredded at times. Low amount of possessions, yes, but we could see these low amount of possessions ending up in touchdowns. Now, these kicking games, you don't really want to trust any college kicker, to be honest. So it's going to be about these touchdowns. Bit cliche, I know, but I think both teams have a good chance of getting touchdowns, of actually converting when they get into the red zone. I don't see there being too many busted coverages or big plays. It's going to be slow, methodical, and that's normally how these games are. It is being played in New Jersey, which is, obviously harder for Naval Academy to be traveling there, but it's nothing they haven't done before. The atmosphere is going to be just fantastic, and I really have Navy keeping it close. Don't have them for the win. The win's not paying them as much as I would want to get on there. It would have to be, 3.5, maybe 3.7 for me to actually want that win. But the 7.5, I'm quite happy to have. I don't like a push, so if you're hitting 7, fine, so be it. 6.5, I wouldn't touch even if it's 2-1. I really want that 7.5. With that total being so low, the percentage that these teams are different as far as Army being a better team, it's not that big of a difference. If this total is, 52, 54, 56, sure, percentage-wise, point scored-wise, there's going to be a bit of a chasm between these two teams if there are that many possessions moving forward. There's not going to be that many possessions to be able to show that chasm. And to be honest, there's going to be some turnovers and mistakes, even though I don't think there's going to be blown coverages. There's going to be interception, fumble. Both these teams can't really pass the ball, so if one does get up, 17-0. I don't think that'll happen. I can see either team making some mistakes here. Navy's not, a slam dunk to get this 7.5. They could lose 23-3 in this game. It is definitely a possibility. So don't go too hard there. I have a unit and a half right now on the 7.5 just because of the value that I think this has gotten pushed up. Should be around 5.5 to 6. But because of these two teams' records, people just glance at it and say, ooh, 8-3 versus 3-8. This should be more than a touchdown. Sure, it gets bet up, bet up, bet up. More people live in New York. Army's a bit bigger than Navy as far as supporters go at times. Not all the time, but especially this being a home game in New York. Got bet up a little bit early. I think this is going to go down to probably around 6 by kickoff. You might get 2-1. I personally just going to be happy getting $1.90 or above on this 7.5. Anyway, that's it for me. Go that 7.5. Tote, I would go under 34.5 if anything, but staying away as well as that. Kakite.